Hello there, welcome to the last part of my What Have I Been Doing in 2020 videos. This is part 5 and this one is going to be showing my ridiculously over-engineered greenhouse. That's it behind me. We've got it dark brown to match the shed that it's attached to. The shed that it's attached to is the one that's got my batteries in. It's also going to have a chest freezer to enable me to store all of this food that's going to be coming out of this garden, and it blends in really well. I'm super pleased with it. It was made by a company called Secura Windows, which is S-E-K-U-R-A Windows, from Kingston Park in Newcastle. Really good company. I don't really know what more to say about them, just really good company. They measured up perfectly. It's not quite square, which is not my fault, but the guy that built the base's fault. I won't name his name. It was structurally sound, but not quite square. Secura worked around that. They've provided me with an absolutely cracking greenhouse. Obviously, they didn't provide me that for free. It's all double glazed. It's got a double glazed roof. It's a pretty expensive job, but it's well worth it. I'm over the moon with how it performs as well, because even in the winter, it was -5 outside, 6 o'clock in the morning. In here, it was still warm from the day before, and that's with no heating. It sits on a huge concrete pad. We needed to put that in as like a raft to put it on because the ground itself was built up. We've done quite a lot of work with the digger and building and all sorts of stuff, but you know, the end result is what you're seeing now. I didn't bother filming all the stages of how we did it. That's not really important. The finished result and what I'm growing in here is the important thing. That's really what 99% of people want to see, you know. So I'll put the link to Secura Windows in the video description. I would definitely recommend them. They're a local company. Well, at least they are to me as well. They're about 10 miles away from me. So as I said in the last video, I do like to support local business wherever I can. They get my vote and a shout out and a link. Good stuff. Oh, before we go in there, you'll see my secret weapon, which is rotted horse manure. I use that in pretty much everything. I mean, you can see it's in the pots. It's just everywhere. It does a cracking job. You can see it all over there. That's against all of the tomatoes. Tomatoes seem to do really well growing with that on top. And even in here, well, they're tomatoes. They're touching the roof. Yeah, so let's have a look inside. Here we have a tomato, pepper, chili apocalypse. We've got various sorts of tomatoes in here. Okay, so what's this one? Tigerella tomatoes. Got a couple of those. Here we've got green zebra tomatoes. Again, there's a couple of those plants. And here we've got San Marzano tomatoes. Again, a couple of those plants. In amongst them, we've got pots of coriander. Some of it started to go past its best to seed. I still eat it. It still tastes absolutely lovely on a curry. The rest of the tomatoes that I grew, as shown in the previous video, are growing all the way around there. Again, there's just a mix of the 3 varieties in there. I didn't bother labelling them. We'll just see what happens with them. They've got 2 chances. Slim and none. In this wonderful northeast environment that they find themselves in. You'll probably notice that the bench hasn't actually got a top on it. Now, that was a happy accident. I built the frame thinking that I could put, like, build little drawers or shelves or something in underneath it. And then what I thought was, if I get trays like this, which is 80 centimeters by 80 centimeters, I could sit that on top, put all my seedlings and everything in there, get them up to a certain size, pot them on into bigger pots, and then I could just slide the tray in at a lower level and grow them up there. If they get absolutely massive, I could slide that down to a lower level again. So it allows me to make use of this frame in numerous ways. So for instance, these ones I've got sitting on top. These with tomatoes, I'd probably just move them down to that level So these ones are growing in, but these are peppers. I don't think these are going to get quite as high, but you never know, they might. Tell you what, I'm just going to switch that the water off in here for a second. That's better. I'll explain where that water noise was coming from in a moment. Here we have all sorts of chili peppers. We've got the long bird's eye chilies. I think there's 4 of those plants. Here at the back we've got Satan's Kiss chili. There's 4 of them, not 3 of them, sorry. Here we've got sweet Marconi pepper, which is like a long sweet pepper. Just again, 4 of them. And here we've got 4 unknown ones. What the heck are they? Now, are they the Reaper chilies? I maybe should have put some labels in them ones. Marconi's, long chilies, bird's eye ones. Satan's Kiss. I think they're Reaper chilies, California Reaper chilies. We'll say they are. We'll find out soon enough. We've got another one of those trays here where I pot everything up. Again, that can just be taken off and slid underneath here. And we've also got space under there for compost and so on and such forth. Here we've got 6 pots of a really interesting tomato called Brad's Atomic Tomato. No, sorry, Brad's Atomic Grape Tomato. They get all sorts of really weird colours on them. They really look like they've come out of some, you know, post-apocalyptic nuclear war zone, you know. So I want to see what they're like. I'm hoping they're nice, but if Brad's Atomic grapes aren't nice, they'll be going in Ned's atomic dustbin. Nah, I'm sure they'll be alright. I love tomatoes. Off from there we've got, oh, they're the Reaper chilies. Reaper chilies. What the heck were those ones then? There's 4 unknown chilies there. No, I can't remember. It'll be something outrageously hot, no doubt. I'll show you these things in a second. Let's just put that on the back burner and swing around to what was on the other side of the door as you come in. We've got the world's tallest tomato plants. I've already nipped the tops out of there, but they're still going berserk. There's just a variety of different types in there. There's Alicante, Moneymaker, Golden Sunrise or Yellow Sunrise or something. This one's a beefsteak tomato. It's just starting to get the tomatoes on. Apparently they get really huge. None of them have gone red yet, but they're getting there. That's just a forest of tomatoes. God knows how many tomatoes we're going to get off there. It's ridiculous. Just off to the side of there, we've got a little door under here. So, where are we? My shed sits up there. And under here we've got a door which allows me to get in underneath the shed, so I just use that for storage. It's not very tall, it's only about 4 foot tall, so I just store old pipes and, you know, fertiliser, pots and all sorts of muck in there. We've also got a door that goes in from outside as well, so if I want something in the garden but don't want to get into here, don't want to get into the greenhouse to let the heat out, I can get in from outside as well. So we'll utilise the space underneath the shed. It's where I keep my dwarven workforce. Right, so above there I've made use of the space above there. I've basically just put a support up here and here, a 2x2 frame on the top, and I can put pots of things up here. So here we've got basil, and I mean, oh, smell that, beautiful, absolutely beautiful, tastes class as well. You can get addicted to smelling things in here, it's hellish. And then you can't really see because of all this growth, but we've got 1, 2, 3 pots of something called cuca melon, Cucamelon, also known as mouse melon. They get little melon type things about that long that literally look like a melon, but they're a part of the cucumber family, and apparently it tastes like a mixture of cucumber and lime. You maybe can't see it there, but we've got one forming there. There was a tiny little yellow flower, and it's just started, oh, there's a better one. It's just started forming the fruit. So they'll be interesting. There's a nation of them growing on there, and they're kind of getting into everything. I mean, they've started growing into the tomatoes, and they've started growing to this thing. which is my hydroponic slash aeroponic growing towers. So I actually saw something similar to this on not Facebook, I'm not on bloody Facebook, what's it called? On an Instagram page, and it was Pat Miletich, the ex-MMA fighter. It was on his page. He bought one, I forget what it was called, but it was only available in the US. So I actually made one pretty similar to his, just out of like ordinary shelving, like sectional shelving that you could buy off eBay. Again, I'll put a link to it in the video description. The 4-inch white pipes are drainage pipe, and you create holes in here to put your pots in, and then you just plant it up with whatever you want to plant it up with. These dwarf tomatoes seem to be doing really well in it. The lettuce are doing not so well. I think it's a little bit too hot in here for them, to be honest with you. In the winter, lettuce would really grow well in here. And then down the side of here, we've got 4-foot daylight tubes. So each one of these stands has got 2 pipes. Each pipe holds 20 plants. So we've got 2 stands, 4 pipes. So there's enough room for 80 plants. Down the inside of each part of the frame, we've got a 4-foot daylight tube, which is 6,500 K. I don't think that stands for, it might be Kelvin. 6,500. Anyway, it's a bright daylight tube. They produce the equivalent of 2,200 lumens of light each. So that's blasting away. Absolutely blasting away. I mean, look at that, man. The plants are doing really well. You know, they've got fruit on there. Flowers. Well, them flowers, every one of them, hopefully will be a tomato cascading down there. They're loving it. And this is fed from this tank. This is a 350 or 375 litre tank. It's a sort of thing you'd get mobile window washers having in the back of a transit van or something, you know. Again, I'll put a link to this in the video description. I think I might have got that on eBay. It's a really substantial tank, solid, and I've got an air pump which pumps water into here. Sorry, pumps air into here just to keep it circulating. And in there I've got water from the pond filters, so that's really nutritious. I did add like tomato right or something else. What was the other thing I put in there? Something like a liquid fertilizer. God, what was it? Not grow more. Baby bio? No, it wasn't that. It was some sort of grow liquid I put in there. I don't know whether I've got the mix right, but everything seems to be doing okay, so I think I've got it more or less there. And the pump, which is a 3,000 litre an hour pump, pumps up a 1-inch pipe through a splitter, which goes up here and splits again, and it feeds down 1, 2, 3, 4 tops, and then the water just cascades down. And because of the design of this, well, I'll show you when the water's on. It distributes the water all down the inside of this tube. Doesn't drip at all. There's not a drip lost. It's really efficient system, and each one of these can be regulated with a tap, which I've got up there. So if I didn't want the system on at all, I could just shut this whole system off. Again, the lights are on the switch as well, so I can switch these lights off if I wanted nothing on this side, and just it's adaptable. And above here I've got some little fans that run off a USB. Maybe just see that plant quivering in the flow of air there. They were given to me by my mate Aidan. He bought them for his systems, said I might be able to use them, and I said thank you very much. They just keep things from going too foisty. So the pump feeds up to here. We've got a waterproof outdoor socket. It's got a built-in timer as well, so we can set a timer if necessary. I've just had it going 24/7. It seems to work well. If I was planting other things in here, it may not need constant supply. I don't know. That gives me the option to alter it to whatever I would need it to be. I'm still learning, so I don't really know. So we'll just switch that on. Now the water's been pumped from there up, and it started coming down the insides of these tubes. Let's have a look in there. There you go. Hopefully you can see that the water's just showering down the inside of there. And this little collar here just enables the water to go around the inside of it and sheds it away from the sides. And I've sealed along the sides just with not clear silicone, white silicone. So there's no chance of any water getting out of there. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Oh, I forgot to show you before I head off and do my summary that this forest of blooming plants here. We've got jalapenos and peppers in here. These little lights here are just like miniature grow lights. I've got those on just to give a little bit more red light. Then again, you can swap that so you only have blue lights, or you can have red lights, or you can have a mix of red and blue. I have got proper grow lights to go down the inside of here for if I'm only growing tomatoes in here, because I think they'll do better with the grow light than they would with an ordinary white daylight tube. So I have got lights to enable me to swap around. I don't know whether you can see, but they just unplug from the top and from the bottom, which will enable me to just set them up really quick. And this is just like a little light that you can just adjust the position of. It's got 4 different heads on, and it's got a clip on there which is just clipped onto this trellis, and I can just move that up with these plants down here, get a little bit taller, and just shine it wherever I want, you know. Again, I don't know whether that's doing any good, but it's there, you know. So there you go, that's my greenhouse. Hopefully you've enjoyed this last part of what I've been doing in 2020. This one isn't massive, you know, it's not a huge greenhouse, but I've tried to make it very efficient. I've tried to use all the space if I possibly can. In the winter, when all of these tomatoes and chilies and peppers and everything are finished, across the top of this bench I'll probably build another self-watering system, except I won't have the pipes vertical like that. I'll have them horizontal. I've already got all the parts for that, so it can all just be fed by the same reservoir, and we'll see what goes on there. It does have the potential to produce a nation of, well, everything, really. Really, this in conjunction with those 2 vegetable gardens, it's going to produce a nation of organic, nutritious food. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's about the nutrition, because anybody can produce big food, and you see that all the time in supermarkets, but when you taste it, it's like there's no taste. Everything so far that we've had out of the garden, which isn't much, because it's going to come to fruition this year, everything we've had has tasted absolutely amazing. It's just been nice. None of it has seen any tap water, so it's got no fluoride, no chlorine, none of that sort of chemical crap that you get in that, you know, bleaches the soil and kills all the biome and virome in the soil. The soil is just fed with nutrition. It's just allowed to live, you know, and that reflects in what's produced in the soil or in the water. It's going well. I'll go outside. This is noisy. So that's what I've been doing in 2020 and into 2021. Hopefully a lot of you people watching this have been doing the same. We're going to need to grow our own fruit and veg, and moving forward into the new normal, the skills we learn are really going to be the new currency. The more skills we can learn, the better off we're going to be. I don't know, I just want to learn. Everything I get into, I want to get into 100% and learn as much as I can. Hopefully, I don't think you'll have learned anything from this video, but hopefully you've enjoyed seeing what I've been doing. In subsequent videos, I will be doing bits and bobs, just showing you how I pot things up, how I just basically what I do on a day-to-day basis down here. And I'm no teacher as far as the vegetables go, but you might learn something in subsequent videos. Thanks very much for watching. If you've watched every part of this series, thank you doubly or triply. And I'll see you in the next video. Don't know when that'll be, don't know what it'll be on, but I look forward to seeing you. Thanks for watching.